So 1 plus 1 equals 2. We all know that. And I'd like to give two ways of solving the answer. One is with an algorithm, and the other is with AI. So the algorithm will tell us that A plus B equals C using rule and logic, whereas AI is basically a predictive maintenance, right? It's a way for us to predict something that will satisfy us. And when I say us, it has a large data. It's basically asking, what are people saying about this? So if I wanted to know how much 1 plus 1 is without knowing any math, using that type of predictive mechanism, I would look in the big data and see what have people said about this in the past. And with that, I could create amazing things without knowing what I'm actually doing. In that sense, right, we could ask, what is a peacock and a pen? So if we ask an algorithm, we probably wouldn't get much of an answer. But if we asked AI, we may get something like this. And if you really think about what's happening here, is that AI is satisfying our, let's say, need for understanding. And it's saying a person would be able to understand the connection between a pen and a peacock in the best way had I shown them this, based on all the data. Okay, now where does all of this lead us? It leads us to a place where ChatGPT, this is how I depict him. So there's an E missing, but even when he says the truth, he's still lying. Okay, in a sense, it's the ultimate joker, because he knows what to say to always be right in our perceived mind. Now, it's not really right, but it is right enough to satisfy our condition. And this is super important when we talk about architecture and we talk about engineering and we have rule restraints. You don't have to be ultimately right. You have to satisfy conditions. And this is where AI is becoming extremely powerful in the ability to not have to know everything that we're doing, but just have to know what kind of a result we want to get. So what does that mean for construction? So basically it means we can collapse complete data sets into basically a black hole that tries to answer questions. It can create things like you see here, a thing which satisfies all stakeholders. So going by that logic, it could create a BIM model that satisfies building rights, aesthetics, engineering, regulation, fabrication, and cost without knowing anything about what it's doing, but just by having enough data to satisfy. So there you see ChatGPT getting his approval. And in essence, this is true for almost every field in the world. The language models today have all the internet and more combined, and much more, right? So we have to understand that today, as programmers, developers, architects, we don't really have to know exactly how to do things. We have to focus on the output. What is it? What condition would we like to satisfy? And then we can try to see how to use that.